exam than just one of our choice. That's why we want to do so many things.
That's right. All right. What are you studying, Barbara? What is your main course?
Illustration.
Oh, okay. So good morning, everyone else who has come in. All right, so today is the 22nd. Let me just do a little bit of roll call here. So, it's already 9:05. I guess I'll do this afterwards. Okay, so I'm going to begin the lesson. So as you can see, I posted a document in which I have written the names of the students who qualify for. Good morning, Salvatore. Who qualify for a mark. What does that mean? At the beginning of the course, I told you that we would be doing some written assignments, right? And I would give you a grade for each assignment. And then at the end, I would calculate the average of your grades, and that would be your final grade in order to give you your final grade. Therefore, in going over the people who have done the test, I found that there are some people who are missing maybe one or two. Now, I don't require you to do all of the tests, but let's say if you miss one, it's not a problem. If you miss two, it's a problem. Therefore, let's go through it today. So if anybody found their name on the list of students who do not qualify for mark, I can tell you now more or less what you need to send me, because I don't want you sending me a whole lot of things. Just, I mean, it's either one or maximum two things. So does anybody have any questions about this? No?
Maybe just where we have to send it.
Okay, so Barbara, I told you, let me just repeat it for everybody. So Barbara, for example, has to do the haiku. Okay, and
Yes.
that was on the first lesson. You have to attach that to the first lesson, I think. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so basically, if you find something, okay, if I tell you, you should do this, right? For example, the comparison of Rothko to Terrell, you need to find the lesson in which I gave that assignment, and you attach it to that lesson. All right? So,
okay.
Somebody else wanted to ask me a question.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, Joanna.
I have a question.
Yes.
Could you tell me, please, what am I missing?
All right, so you're just missing the Rothko-Terrell comparison.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anybody else?
Yes, Prof. I have a question too.
Yes.
I'm not satisfied with my course. Is it possibly to improve my homework better? Because at the one point, I think I don't understand the assignment.
What can I tell you? There are two more things that you have to do. For example, there's a test today, and there's also a written assignment. So, I mean, if you do well on those, you can improve your grade.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, I understand.
Let's see how that comes out. So next.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did you want to say?
Yes, just one time the license 7 homework I don't satisfy, so I want to prove it. May I have the chance or not?
What do you mean? You don't, okay, so you got a grade that you don't like and you want
Yeah.
to improve it?
Yeah.
And that was what, a Rothko versus Terrell?
Yeah. May I?
No. Well, let's just see what happens with the next two, and then we'll talk about it. Because if
Okay.
everybody tells me, may I rewrite, then poor Adoya Marshall is going to be here for the next 3 weeks recorrecting tests. Okay.
Okay, I
So
see.
let's see what happens. We have 2 more things to do because today we have a test. Everybody, are you ready for that?
Yeah.
And then and you also have a writing assignment. Now, usually when I have students study 2 artists that work in the same field, I do a writing assignment in which you have to compare them. This time I wanted to do something that was more creative because I have found that when I give you students an assignment to compare artists, and I want you to give me your opinion, I'm finding a whole lot of Wikipedia or stuff that you find on the internet that has nothing to do with what I ask you to do. Therefore, if I ask you to do something creative, you cannot go and look for something on Wikipedia. You have to do it yourselves. Okay, plus I even prefer to read creative writing assignments. Now, anybody else?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I want to ask, is there a final exam for
No.
this lesson? No?
No.
Okay. And also I want to ask the activity on February because I only reply you on 19, not on 18, that I have my green pass. Can I still go there?
No, okay, all right. So I'm glad you're talking about this. So let's talk about the green pass first. I made a mistake. I thought that the green pass, the rafforzato, okay, because there's a lot of confusion about this, meant that you had to have the 3rd vaccination, but that's not true. The green pass rafforzato just means that you have to have been vaccinated, okay?
Yes.
So
Okay.
so everybody who has done their vaccination is fine. Okay. Number
Got
2, I'm still talking with the Academy about how to pay for these tickets. They're giving me a bit of problems here because they say the best thing is if you have them pay you and then we pay back the Academy pays back the students. But I think that's a bit that just makes everything more confusing. So I will give you the definite information within next week. All right. And maybe I will just pay for all of the tickets and then have the Academy pay me. Maybe it will be like that. Okay.
You're too kind.
Because I just don't, it just seems too complicated for me to have you pay me. Then I go pay Teatro della Pergola. Then the Teatro della Pergola gives us the tickets. And then you go back to the Academy and they have to pay you. It's complicated. Barbara, what do you say?
Yes, it is complicated, but I mean, I'm sure the Academy can provide us with the money for the tickets. So
Of course. It's just that it's just this bureaucratic, mess.
Okay. Yeah, I have no other problem.
Okay. All right. Anybody else want to ask me questions? I mean, if you're on the list of people who need to add something or need to do something more, is anybody else there?
Yes, Professor.
Okay. So Anna, I think it's not a problem for you because you handed in everything late, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
I'm late.
Don't say I'm late. Wait a second. Let me see now. Where is your name? So Anna, for example, you did the comparison of Laura and Martin, right? Okay, so don't worry. I'll find that. Okay. Anybody else? That's strange. Whatever. So let's go on to the lesson. So next week is our last lesson. Okay, so as usual, who am I going to torment today?
Sorry, Professor. Next week will be the last lesson?
Yes, next week is the last lesson.
Lesson don't finish 13 February.
It depends on the amount of hours that you have to do per course. So next
okay.
week will be, yeah. So are you sad, Anna?
A little bit, yeah.
You won't be seeing my little rectangle's face
Yeah.
Saturday morning. Okay. Now.
But after that, we will see in the theater, yeah.
Yes. We just have to organize that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, who wants to be tormented today? I know Barbara will always say that she will do it. Okay. Anyone else?
I would like to participate.
Who said that? Valeria. Oh.
Also me.
Oh, and raise your hand as usual. Very good. Anyone else? How about some men here? How about Hanshu? Hanshu, you're doing something else. I can see you fiddling with your computer there. Do you want to participate?
Well, I would like to, but I didn't do any preparation.
Well, that's okay.
I'm not okay. Okay, I'll be here.
That means I'll torture you even more because you didn't do any preparation.
Okay, that's sweet.
Okay, so I have 4 people. Anybody else?
Hello.
Who said hello? Salvatore?
Yes.
Oh, Salvatore is also. We can rely on him. Who else? Angela.
Yes.
How about participating?
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay. Now, obviously, you know that I've just chosen these how many are there? These 6 people to help us start the lesson. But I'm expecting the rest of you to participate as well, right? Okay. So let's, Anna, yes?
Sorry, Professor, when will be the test?
The test will be at the end of the lesson. I'll give you about 35 minutes towards the end of the lesson to do it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll share the screen. Okay, so as you can see, the test today we have there'll be a grammar part. Okay, one of those standard grammar tests where you have to fill in the space in the sentence with the correct verb form, and the verb forms that you will be responsible that you should have studied are gerunds and to infinitives and conditionals. Okay, so let me come back to you 1 second. So if you need to look at the lessons in which those grammar tenses were explained, you can look at them while you're doing your test. Do you understand? You're not copying. You're just looking. If you don't remember something, I want you to feel free to look back at the past lessons in which those grammatical forms were described or explained. Okay? All right. Okay, and then there is a vocabulary part. One of the vocabulary parts will be in the form of multiple choice. And then there will be another part where you have to write a definition. Now, when you write the definition, it has to be in your own words. So do not go and copy something from the internet and paste it inside of your test. No, you have to write something with your own words. And be careful if you do try to be clever and copy something from the internet. I am also sometimes clever of finding you out. Okay. And if you copy, I will just annul your test. All right. So let's read the poem. And Angela, you start.
The poem that took the place of a mountain. There it was, word for word, the poem that took the place of a mountain. He breathed its oxygen, even when the book lay turned in the dust of his table.
Okay, stop. Barbara, continue.
It reminded him how he had needed a place to go to in his own direction, how he had recomposed the pines, shifted rocks, and picked his way among clouds.
Stop. What is the meaning of to pick your way? Do you know?
To take something and leave other.
Not really. Okay, this is something that I underlined last night. I didn't underline it on everybody's PowerPoint that I posted.
To choose to kind of choose a way.
Yes, very good. So it's to walk very slowly while choosing your way, while choosing how to put your feet also as you go along. Okay, Valeria?
For the outlook, that would be right, where he would be complete in an explaining completion.
Okay, stop. What is the meaning of outlook?
I think that outlook is like perspective, like your perspective.
Yes.
Point of view, I think.
A view, right? And it's I like the word perspective. We can even say we can add to perspective also an attitude towards life. So it's a person's point of view or an attitude or towards life or a person's perspective. That's an interesting way of putting it. Okay. Continue. Raise your hand.
Okay. The exact rock where his inexactnesses would discover at last the view towards which they had edged.
Okay, stop. So you got the difficult sentence there.
Yes, I know.
All right. So let's look at this word inexactness, because here we're playing with a bit of poetic license. So in order to understand this word, we have to kind of take it apart. So the core of this word is exact. Exact. Yes. All right. So what does exact mean?
Exact is something short.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. And something sure, correct, accurate. Okay. Now let's think of another word inside of this word. If we think of the prefix in, we create the word inexact. Now, the prefix in, if you add the prefix in to a word, you are saying not.
Yes.
So if you say inexact, it means?
It means the opposite of exact. So it's not exact, not short.
Right. Not accurate, not correct. All right. Now, if we add a suffix, that means a little tiny part of a word at the end of the word, ness, we create a noun.
Yes.
So we say, it's as if we're talking about a quality or condition. So if we say inexactness, right?
Yes.
We're saying it is the quality or condition of being inexact. But what has he done? He's added a plural to it. So he's saying the many qualities or conditions of being inexact. Okay, so all of the times that he has been inexact would discover at last the view towards which, okay, let's leave the they for later. Edge. What does it mean to edge as a verb?
To edge. To eliminate something. To limit something.
Not
Is
really.
It's something like the burden. The
Right.
burden something.
Yes. You're right that edge as a noun is a border, or and it sets a limit. But the verb to edge is to move or cause to move gradually in a particular direction. It's as if you're moving towards an edge.
I got it. To move something to the edge.
Yes, it's more like that. Okay, Henshu?
Where he could lie and gazing down at the sea, recognize his unique and solitary home.
Okay, it's not gazing, it's gazing.
Gazing.
Okay. Do you know the meaning of the word to gaze?
Nope.
Huh. Okay, so I thought everybody knew that. Rue, do you know the meaning of gaze?
Yes, like to stare at something.
Excellent. All right, so let's think about this poem. I'll read it again. There it was, word for word, the poem that took the place of a mountain. He breathed its oxygen, even when the book lay turned in the dust of his table. It reminded him he needed a direction. No, sorry. It reminded him how he had needed a place to go in his own direction, how he had recomposed the pines, shifted the rocks, and picked his way among the clouds for the outlook that would be right, where he would be complete in an unexplained completion, the exact rock where his inexactnesses would discover at last the view toward which they had edged, where he could lie and, gazing down at the sea, recognize his unique and solitary home. All right, so let's think about what's going on here. It says, there it was, word for word. Barbara, what is it?
It is referred to the poem, or...
Very good. Okay. Very good. Or what?
No, the poem, and the subject of the poem is the mountain, so kind of the creation.
Good.
Of the mountain itself.
And what does it mean? He says, oh, so there it was. So there it was, this poem, word for word, that took the place of a mountain. What does that mean? What is he saying that took the place?
So to take place is something that happened or occur, or something that is in the place of something. And I think that is referred to the fact that this poem is not just the words, is not just the poem itself, but is creating the mountain. And I'm reminded of this also when he pick and choose, or he recompose.
Right. right. So it's the artistic work that replaces the tangible experience. Can we say that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so he says, so he goes on to say, he breathed its oxygen even when the book lay turned in the dust of the table. Barbara? So
yeah, even when he's not looking at this poem, he
Good.
knows it so well that this poem is living in front of his eyes. It's
Okay.
just there.
Good, good. All right. So Valeria, then he goes on to say, it reminded him how he needed a place to go in his own direction. What does that mean? This
Yeah.
own direction.
Yeah, maybe because when you read the poem, you image the mountain and all the landscape that he described in this poem. So it's like a way to escape from reality. No?
Oh, okay. I like that you've said two things. So it's what he imagined, right? Therefore, so he reads the poem, right? And what he imagined is his personal image.
Yeah, or maybe he creates this poem about a real mountain or uh, imaginative mountain, his personal view of a perfect mountain,
Okay.
the concept of the
Okay.
perfect mountain, like a comfort zone, you know.
Right, right. Okay, good, good, good. All right. And then as Barbara says, then he says, this goes back to what you say, that it takes the place of a mountain because he recomposed the pines. He puts the pines in the place where he thinks it should be. Well, in his imagination when he's viewing it,
Yes.
he shifts the rocks. Barbara?
Yes. I'm thinking also of the word recomposed.
Good.
Because it's not only linked to the fact that he's choosing his creation, but also to compose a poem or poetry is a word that we use for the act of writing also.
Mhm.
And he picked his way among clouds. He's looking at this mountain from above, from a perfect perspective. So it's looking kind of like a god or like a religious image.
So that you're saying, so Barbara, that's interesting because I never thought of it that way. Because you're saying, for in your opinion, he's looking at it from above. That Rouet, do you agree? Do you think that he's looking at it from above, or he's just imagining it before himself? I mean, before his eyes.
Not exactly. I think he is not in front his eyes and not above. I think he is like between the world he is creating in his mind. Like the mind is inside, but he is also inside the mind.
Ah,
Yes, that's
very
what I imagine.
interesting. Very interesting. Because okay, so but then let's go on. So he recomposes for the outlook that would be right, obviously for him. And then he says, where he would be complete in an unexplained completion. So, Rouet Jouet, you got the difficult one here.
Yes.
What do you have to say? Where he would be complete in an unexplained completion. I think about it this way, but I want to hear what you have to say. So the human imagination, or the human ability to imagine, is in some way unexplainable. Could it be something like that?
It could be. It could be. Yes, I agree with you. And I have some other thoughts is like unexplained. If we are talking about something like law or something regular, it can be explained in exact words. But
Right.
we are talking about imagination and poem. There is not exactly a point of view totally right or perfect. For the outlook, that would be right, but there is not something absolute right. So this perfection cannot be explained. So it is an unexplained complexion.
Okay, so what can I say? How many points? Catherine, how many points shall we give Rouet there?
The maximum.
Oh, very good.
Thank you.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah,
Okay.
just can I add something?
Oh, of
Reading
course.
the text,
I'm just
I was
waiting for
wondering.
your wonderful contribution. Go ahead.
Maybe. I was wondering if the completion was talking about is simply his future in clouds. He's watching the mountain as the direction, the way is his own life, and clouds is something you cannot see the future. So your future is in the clouds.
Oh, that's a very poetic addition there. I hadn't thought of it that way. That's beautiful.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
I'm not sure if I see the good thing because for me it's a new poem. I never read it. So
Okay, so let's continue. Let's finish it. Okay, so then we go on to say, so this where he would be complete in an unexplained completion. But then he says the exact rock where his inexactness would discover at last the view toward which they had edged. All right, so when he speaks about his inexactness, Salvatore, what is he referring to in your opinion?
Something that it's not sure until it is finished. I think, because it's a creation of a mountain, of an ecosystem, and a creation of a poem.
Very nice. So that's why you're saying until it's finished. That's kind of linked to would discover at last.
Yes, because everything is possible until we choose a path, or in this case, the right word to write a poem.
Or even create an image. I mean, it can be an analogy for the artistic experience, right?
Yes.
Okay. And when he says they, who is he referring to?
They moved, I think, the words of the poem, or in this case, I think the viewer, the spectator, who
okay. So you said two things. Let me see if anybody else can tell me who they are. Hanshu, do you have an idea?
They had engaged.
They.
Well, to be honest, I have no idea.
Okay. Let me go on to Angela. Who are they?
I think when he is talking about the rocks, he is referring to words, because maybe he is searching a perfect word to end his poem and he is not yet finding it. So maybe they could be referred to rocks or the words.
Okay. I'm kind of leaning more towards Salvatore here, everybody, because at last he says would discover at last the view to which they had edged. So maybe this they could be the poet. No, I'm sorry. The reader and the poem.
Yes, because we have the verb they had edged, so maybe, yeah.
Let's hear from somebody else. Barbara, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Also because the words edged towards the creation of a safe place that we were talking before, and that's this solitary home that is talking in the end. So I think that they is referred to the words of the poem, so to the creation.
Okay.
Sorry, can I say
Teacher,
something?
can it be
Yes.
the inexactness?
Okay. 1 second. 1 second. Because I can't see you guys. So who wanted to add something?
Me, Valeria.
Oh, Valeria. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. I think that the last the last verse and the exact rock where etc could be like the limit of this safe place, like the writer written this poem and build this safe place, and this inexact and this lie or gazing down the sea, it's like he recognizes his own place. Like yes, this rock is inexact, but because I want this, because he is my place.
Because it's my place.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And Catherine wanted to say something also to add to that.
Yes, in fact, I was wondering if they could be inexactness because as mistakes, as if it were if he were put it in that way by his own mistakes.
Oh, that's very good.
Lies in his solitary way.
Right. Let me write that down because I'd never thought of it that way.
It is in continuing of the first idea I offered to explain the tenses, the words before.
Inexactnesses. Okay, very good, very good. So Valeria and Catherine have added some things to there. So let's just finish it that one last line. So where he could lie and gazing down at the sea recognize his unique and solitary home. So I want to come back to Valeria. Why unique and solitary? Why unique? Why solitary?
Maybe because, like Catherine said, this poem could be the life of the artist. So, like mistakes, the last one, like unique solitary home, could be his life.
His life. All right. Yeah. And Angela, what do you have to say? Why unique? Why solitary?
I agree with Valeria. So, yes.
Okay. Barbara, do you have anything to add to that?
Maybe I do. I think it could be referred also to the life of an artist that, like a mountain, it's kind of very public and in the face of others, but at the same time, it's just there, and maybe we can't reach it, and that's why it's unique, it's solitary, but at the same time everyone can watch it, but not everyone can reach it. Also, I don't know if the I wanted to ask to the sea, gazing down at the sea, what is it referring to? The sea or
I think he's referring to the view from the mountain.
Okay.
All right. So, Jang Na, then I have a question for everybody.
Yeah, I want to add something to this unique and solitary home.
Yeah.
Because before he already said a place to go in his own direction. It's
Good.
like everyone have to make a decision or create the life or the poem in his own way. So when he completes this poem or his life, it will be his unique and solitary home, not others' home. So everyone have to go into this process to move his own pines and the rocks and words. I think it's like this.
Yes, I read it that way as well, because if all right, so let's say everyone has read this poem. Every one of us has read this poem. We did it today. But are we all imagining the mountain in the same way?
No.
No, because each one of us is an individual, and therefore we have our own unique view of things.
Yes.
Let's see. Does anybody? Francesca Parilla, what do you have to say?
Oh, I agree with her.
Mm-hmm.
I just say, at least, I think it's like a marriage of subject and object.
Ah, yes.
Like,
it's as if they become one, right?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Excellent work, everybody. So, seeing that next week will be our last lesson, I just wanted to ask you about the course in general. Did you enjoy approaching English through poetry, as I have done it during the course? Did you like it, or did you find it a bit difficult? I mean, I'm just open for suggestions here. Anybody? Okay,
yeah,
Valeria?
I like so much this part of course, actually all the course, but because in the middle school, high school, the teacher don't look the poem or the artwork of the artist, but like history and some stuff like that. So I don't know anything about the poem or the poetry in English, so it's very interesting.
So you found that interesting. Okay. Yeah. Anybody else? Did you any other feedback here? You can even say I found it difficult. I didn't want to do it.
It was very difficult. Funny because it's always interesting to do something difficult. We are not here just to pass time. So it's boring if it's not interesting. Without no difficulties, it's a boring thing to.
So, Catherine, you found it difficult. Why did you find it difficult?
Difficult because we had to think a lot, to exchange, and this difficulty is a very good thing. Without the difficulty of the work, of the task, we are annoying ourselves. No,
Okay.
I think so. I think the course was very pleasant, and I enjoyed it. And even my husband sometimes listen to us and say, "How lucky you are! How lucky you are! Never had such a teacher, English teacher." He's jealous.
Oh, that's good. That's nice. That's nice.
I really enjoyed the course.
Okay, good.
Thank you a lot.
But I know that approaching poetry can be difficult for certain people, because you kind of feel, you get blocked sometimes because you look at it and you say, I just don't understand this. But it's a very interesting way to approach language, in my opinion. So
I think it was also great. I'm sorry. Because we could hear like the different opinions also. We could exchange opinions about it. So that was a great way.
That's my favorite part, is when I hear everybody's opinion and then something new comes up. That's the part I love most about teaching. Okay, so let's continue the lesson. Was anybody able to watch the video? Yes?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Catherine's face. Did you look at it, Catherine? I didn't hear you. Catherine, your mic is off. Did you look at the video? Your microphone is turned
yes,
off.
I watched it, but it was too late and I slept, so I don't remember anything.
Because you know why I'm asking you, Catherine, because I am sure, I'm almost like I'm 100% sure that this type of set design is just not your cup of tea. That's why you fell asleep. Okay. So, having said that about it being your cup of tea, I have chosen, I've always tried to choose the most contemporary works of art, right? That can, I don't know, that you can find videos about, that you can discuss. And so a lot of this course has been sort of directed to minimalism. And as you can see, Katrine Brack's theater is very, very minimal. So I can see in Katrine's face, it's as if it's so minimal that there's nothing there.
I have a problem with the concept of aurore vacui.
Aurore vacui, okay. So did anybody find it interesting or not so much or whatever? So Rouet is smiling there.
Yeah. I like it. I like minimalism. Yes.
So did you find her set design interesting?
Yeah, I find it interesting. And for me, it's more like the actor, they are playing a game in a abstract scene. Yes.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're playing in a painting. Yes.
Yeah, very interesting. I like your use of the word play because it links together what they do because they're playing a role. We know that. We can use that word as another word for acting. But they're also playing. They're having fun.
Yes.
You know, using the set.
They have to create their own stage. So absolutely they are playing.
They're playing. Okay, good. Let's go on to read do the reading. Okay, Barbara, no, I'm sorry. I want Salvatore to start.
Ok. La Biennale di Venezia, 2017. The Golden Lion for Lifetime Achievement in Theatre has been awarded to German stage designer Katrin Brack.
Okay, can you stop 1 second, Salvatore? I didn't underline this, but what does it mean to award?
Award. It's to assign.
Good.
To give.
To give a prize.
Yeah.
Very good. Continue.
Katrin Brack is a leading international set designer for theatre. For over questo lo sbaglio sempre. Decade. Her descriptive stage writing has marked a new era in German and European theatre.
Okay, so it's European.
European theatre.
Good. So look at this, what we have here. They say descriptive stage writing. Stage writing. What do you think that means, stage writing?
Stage writing, he write the stage, the place where actor play. So he tried to describe with the minimal object in this case, because it's a minimalism, to represent
the play,
the idea of an emotion.
Excellent. So when she say her descriptive stage writing, it has nothing to do with writing words. As you say, this is actually another way to say set design, right? Because she's using her sets to describe, as you said, the idea of the play. Okay, very good. Continue, Angela.
Break sets are one of the finest examples of how stage design is not an artificial object inhabited by actors, but like the words in a theatrical text, they are active dramaturgical contributions to the development of the play. Her theatrical design is the ideal synthesis of the words of the playwright, the director and the actors, and the space and the spectators.
Okay, so he said her theatrical design is the ideal synthesis of the words of the playwright, the director, the actors, and the space and the spectators. Why? That's a lot of things. I mean, did you watch the video?
Yes, the video. Yes.
Okay,
I think that yeah, she probably thinks about not only about the set design, but also how is perceived by the spectators and by everyone included.
Oh, okay, good. Barbara, continue.
Yes. The fundamental themes in Braque's work are air, light, and time. Themes that enhance the space of the stage and bring it to life.
All right. Everything, what is the meaning of enhance?
To intensify, to increase.
Okay, good. Continue.
Everything is constantly in motion and variations in the design arising from the context of the moment, add to the performance and make it unique from one night to the next. Emotional.
Okay, so wait, stop there, Barbara. What does that mean? The context, let's see, so I'll just read it again. So everything is constantly in motion, and the variations in the design arising from the context of the moment add to the performance and make it unique. Why does that happen? Barbara. Are you there, Barbara?
The concept of the moment. I think that because stage set design. Yes.
Hello, I'm listening to you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Okay, wait. Barbara, I think is she getting frozen? Okay, let me ask. Yeah, who's speaking?
Oh, okay. Okay. I was saying that I think that because set design is so minimalistic, but at the same time is.
Oh, okay. So Barbara, there's something wrong with your connection. So let me ask the same question to Jiang Na. So let me go back. And then Barbara, try and figure out what's wrong with your connection.
Okay, I think,
yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I think because the context of the moment is different from night to night. Every night.
Okay, Barbara, just 1 second, because Jiang Na is speaking. Why is it different from night to night?
Because every night, the actors act or play differently, and they have different audiences from night to night. That will create the difference,
the uniqueness.
The uniqueness. It will be different every time.
So that's interesting. So because you added one aspect to this answer that I hadn't thought about. So obviously, these actors are on a set, and they can respond each night in a different way to the set design. But there's another thing that adds to the uniqueness of the situation. And very interestingly, you pointed out that even the audience changes every night. So it's also in response. I mean, this uniqueness is also in response to the audience. Is that what you're saying, Jung-na?
Yes, and the fact the abstract style of the design also makes this easier,
right?
Compared to the conditional design.
Very good, very good. Okay, let's see. Valeria, finish reading, please. Emotional.
Yeah, emotional and psychological content stemming from how the actors react to sets, expand the story told by the director, and the stage itself appears to come to life as if it were an actor.
Excellent. Okay, so let's look. That's an interesting last line. So we have emotional and psychological content stemming from. What does that mean, Valeria? To stem from? Can you give us another way to say that?
Is like I don't know how to say in English, but like derivant is a word. Derivant.
Okay, all right. So okay, okay. You tried to make Italian into English, but we can just say depending on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So emotional and psychological content, depending on how the actors react to the sets, right? Expand the story. So it's the Jang-na. Here we have another thing. It's also how the actors feel, right? And also the content of the play itself, right?
Yes, how the actors react to those content.
Okay, which, as you said before, can change from day to day. We're
yes.
not okay. Expand the story told by the director, and the stage itself appears to come to life as if it were an actor. Why is that, Jang-na, in your opinion?
I think it's also because of the style of the design. It's abstract, it's minimalist, and every night it has the different feelings and emotional and physiological kind of content. Every night it can be different and can be easier to be different in this kind of set.
Okay. And Rue, what do you think about that? It's when he says the stage appears to come alive. No, appears to come to life as if it were an actor.
As if, yes, appears to come to life as if it were an actor. It's like the stage I don't know how to say it. The stage itself is like a living person from my point of view, because the actors and the stage, for me, they become one. So the whole thing is like it come to life. It's like an actor.
Okay, very good, very good. Yeah. Okay, let's go on to the next. So here we have, this is the transcript of the video. So I need somebody to be the narrator and somebody to be Katrin Brack. So, Han Shu, you are the narrator.
Okay.
And let's see. Angela, you're Katrin Brack.
Okay.
All right, go.
Shall we?
Yes,
okay.
Go ahead. Begin, Han Shu.
Smoke screens, showers of confetti and lights. Confetti.
Okay, what is confetti, Han Shu?
Confetti and lights. I don't know.
All
Haven't
right.
seen that.
So,
Haven't seen that before. Showers of confetti and lights.
wait a second. Let's look at the last. So, if you look at this image here.
Ah, okay.
So those colored pieces of paper, that's confetti. Do you see? Hanshu?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's confetti.
Okay. Shower of confetti and lights, and what next? Oh, Cartering Bragg stage design or nothing if not hardcore minimal. We went to Munich to meet her.
Munich
to meet her on her latest set, a universe made from lights bulbs. Snow falling for 5 hours non-stop. Catherine Bragg's stage designs are both minimalistic and extravagant. Extravagant.
Okay, so what does it mean? Were you able to? You said you didn't look at the vocabulary, right?
No.
Okay, so hardcore, it means a very extreme and intense example.
Yeah. I know what does it mean. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay. And how about extravagant?
Extravagant. Supervagant. Okay. I don't know exactly.
Supervagant.
Sorry.
Okay, so you can say excessive or elaborate. Okay, so in a certain way, these two terms seem to kind of contrast because we say minimalistic and extravagant at the same time. So minimal and at the same time excessive or elaborate. Well, did you watch the video, Hanshu?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. So I cannot ask you the question.
Oh.
Angela, did you watch the video?
Yes.
Okay, so why would this person say that they're both minimalistic and extravagant?
Because they're minimalistic, because she uses really the things she uses are something that she they're like really minimal in a sense that maybe she uses just the confetti, but the way that she's using it creates really an atmosphere.
An extravagant atmosphere.
Yes.
Oh, okay, very good. Continue, Catherine.
Okay. I always use things that everybody knows. I don't build any sets. I almost never need to use the workshops because the ready-made materials are always available, and I use those. I employ them in the very different ways, not necessarily in the context in which they are normally used, but in some other way.
Okay, so what does it mean to employ?
I make use of them in a very different way.
Okay, very good. So she's a Miss Ready-Made here, huh?
Yes.
Hanshu, continue.
A landscape of fawn becomes the battleground in Armin Petrus's production of the Hermann's. Okay, it's not
yes,
definitely not
I
English.
can't help you with that. That's German, so I don't know how to pronounce it. So continue.
Okay. The anti-Napoleonic drama. The soft light-colored foam blocks stand in stark contrast with the dark, destructive power of war.
Finished. I can't capitalize that. Okay, the soft-colored foam blocks stand in dark. Okay, continue, Catherine.
Okay, this material has nothing to do with war. It's exactly the opposite. It's soft and the colors are especially unwarlike. They're rather pink, green, and light blue.
Narrator? Hanshu.
Of course. Bragg's stage design doesn't illustrate the battle scenes. The minimalism forces the actors into extreme situations.
Continue, Catherine.
I work with the perishability of the material. It loses its brightness even more due to the artificial lighting in the theater. Through the course of the action, it gets dirty. The filth makes it brutal. It gives it a brutal aesthetic.
Okay, what is filth?
It's dirt.
Very good. All right. Let's change the narrators and Catherine. So let's see. Salvatore, you're the narrator, and Jangna, you're Catherine.
Okay. Brock used model to help get her ideas across. Later, actors keep creating their own stage.
Recreating.
Recreate, okay.
Okay. Brack?
My idea is simply that they design their own stage. I give them the materials and they create the space themselves. I don't do it myself anymore.
Okay. Narrator.
For a decade, Catherine Brock has been one of Germany's most sought-after stage designers. She has been named the set designer of the year 3 times and is a professor of Munich Academy of Fine Arts. Her style has greatly influenced the whole German theatre scene. Brock has set the stage for productions of many classic plays, from Kleist to Chekhov. Whether it's light, rain, or fog, the more abstract the better, like in her stage design for Demeter Gottschiff production of Ivankov.
Ivanhoff. All right. And what does it mean, Germany's most sought after?
Most most important in the set, the production.
Well,
influent.
Yes, that's kind of what's implied, but that's not the exact meaning of sought after. Who was speaking?
Wanted.
Yes, wanted. Okay, because if you seek for something, you look for something. So it's a wanted or requested, we could say. Continue, Catherine.
The fog in Ivanov gets in your eyes, in your throat, everywhere. It's irritating. Yet the actors say that although it hurts, they come to think of it as a kind of partner.
What do you, Jen, now, what does that mean? The actors say that although it hurts, they come to think of it as a kind of partner.
I think because the fog helped to create the atmosphere of I don't know what's exactly if it's a war or other.
Well, whatever the play, let's say.
Yeah, the play. Yeah.
It helps to create the atmosphere, and also it influences their way of acting because it gets into their throat. It's irritating.
He stole the scene by the actor.
What?
He stole the scene by the actor.
Interesting. It steals the scene from the actor. Yeah. So you're saying that this is almost it almost has more weight in the actor itself, the set design in this case.
Yeah, the stage is minimalist, so she used one thing, but that thing is important.
Yeah.
And he exaggerates with the use of them.
So that's an extravagant use. Excellent, narrator.
Can I say something to Salvatore?
Yes, who's speaking?
Francesca.
Why, Francesca?
I don't think the fog steal the scene, but maybe it involved the player, no?
Yes. So wait,
It
let me
forces
come
the
back.
player to act in a determinate way.
I think so.
Okay, so Salvatore is saying that Okay, so her set design is so minimal, and in the case of this fog, it almost is predominant over the actors. But Francesca's saying, well, maybe not. It's just that it involves the actors even more.
Yeah.
So let's see. Barbara, is your mic working now?
I'm using my phone. The Wi-Fi is not working. That's why I had.
What do
But
you
yeah,
think?
I think that like we were saying before, that the stage appears to come to life like an actor, and then we talked about the perishability, like the decay of the materials.
Right.
I think that's why it kind of becomes a partner, because it changes, and you have to change with the different material, maybe every night, because it's changing every time you're using it.
That's right. And what about in the case of fog? Maybe you get a cold one night, and then the next night you have to act with a cold.
I kind of think it like Salvatore. I think that when something is so minimalistic, but also so excessive, you're kind of looking at it like it kind of became sort of the main character of the scene. And then there are the actors, you kind of see it like it's there.
All right. So, okay. So let me hear, Roger, do you think that the set design is kind of stealing the scene, as Salvatore and Barbara are saying, or do you agree more with Francesca? It's just more, it makes the actors interact more.
Yes, I remember something Francesca said before, like something marriage of the object and subject. Maybe not to this work, not to this, but I remember the word. Yeah, remember the words. I think it's the exact words I want to borrow it. I want to use to describe this.
Okay.
Because for me, it's more like a marriage of subject and object, like from the point of view of the audience, like when we see the object on the stage, it's like the frog almost swallow or suppressed everything, the actors, the stage, everything. But from the inside of the actors, something like subject, the frog like force them to act even more. Yes. That's what I think.
Very good. Very good. So more points for Roger.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's finish the reading. So let's change now. We'll have Barbara as the narrator and Roger as Bracht. So Barbara, you start with in Hermanisch, whatever that says.
Okay. In the Emmanschlatsch, the actor have to fight with the heavy yet soft foam. This influences their performance.
And
okay. There are no rooms in which they can feel comfortable and say, great, it's just lean against it now. This now. I think these actors really have to make the stage their own. If they have managed to do that, then it is great when the spectators are sitting and drawing all the manners of the situations which go beyond the play itself.
Okay, so just a little correction here. So Braque says drawing all a manner of associations. Do you see that? I've highlighted that. In English, we don't draw associations. We make associations. So this is just a bit of incorrect English here. We make associations and we draw conclusions. Oh. So let's see if somebody can define what I've just said. So, Catherine, what does it mean to make an association?
To put together different concepts. To explain something, you have to complete it with another concept. No?
Okay, so it's kind of like a comparative act.
I have a question about drawing.
Good.
You just said something about drawing. Maybe they put this word just to add another concept of the phrase. No?
Oh, very good. Maybe so.
To draw as to project.
Good. I didn't think of it that way. Because I was saying, to draw associations. So that's, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. Sitting and drawing and as if they were kind of creating mental images.
Yes. To project.
Okay. To project or to design.
Use to project, to design. So to draw as to design.
Okay. Good. Good. Good.
Sorry?
Because Brack is a creative person, so she uses oftenly this kind of word to explain her work.
Herself. Okay. Very good. Very good.
Sorry, teacher.
Yes.
Maybe it could be not an error because Brack don't talk in English. So the translation about I think he's French. Maybe it is, like Catherine said, he's drawing a project.
Okay. So maybe this is an error of the translation of what she said.
Yeah, not an error, but maybe is a different way in French to say that word. No?
Oh, okay. Good. All right. So just to go back to another thing that we can learn, what does it mean to draw a conclusion? Catherine, to draw a conclusion?
To make a conclusion, to conclude. To draw is always connected to the idea of a conception.
Good.
An idea.
You can also say to make a judgment as another way.
Yes.
All right. Very good. So narrator, continue.
Yes. Brack views herself as an artist. She is very self-confident and likes to work closely with the play's director. She accepts just a few projects each theater season.
Brack?
Every time I start from scratch, I don't have anything in reserve. Well, actually, I do have two things in reserve, just waiting until I find the right play.
Okay, so when you, Catherine Brack, when you say that you start from scratch, what does that mean?
Me?
Yes, you're
Catherine. I thought you were asking from Catherine.
Oh, that's right. You're right. I meant Catherine Brack Rouejouet.
Yes. Every time. Yes, if we want to start with a big project, sometimes, I mean, most of the time we need to draw something on the paper, like make the scratch, make a raw design.
Okay, so that good. So it means to start from the very beginning.
Yes.
To start from the very beginning. And if for an artist, it's usually the sketch, but this is start from scratch. Okay, narrator.
Catherine Brack, always on the lookout for the right play, the right materials, and yet another brilliant idea.
Very good. Okay, so let me come back to all of you. And now I want to have a little discussion in which we compare Brack to Wilson. So if I speak about, for example, the composition of the theatrical space, what can we say about Wilson and what can we say about Brack? I'll give you a little time to think about that. Or do you want me to, let's say, okay, so this is kind of difficult to do right away. So I'm going to give you 10 minutes to think about three, let's say, hello? Oh, three things in order to compare Brock to Wilson. So number one, the composition of the theatrical space. So write that down. Then figure-ground relationship. And light and color. Okay, so just think about a few things that we can talk about in comparing the two set designers. So Zhu Jia Chen, can you turn off your microphone, please? So I'll give you a few minutes just to think, put some ideas down that we can discuss. Differences, similarities between them. Okay, so let's just look at 2 examples in order to begin our discussion. So here we have an example of Braque set design on the left, and on the right we have Robert Wilson. Okay, so let me come back. All right, so if we talk about the composition of the theatrical stage, what can we say about Wilson's stage? Francesca, Parilla, do you have any ideas? Just a, a quick idea.
I think it's minimalist,
but
full of detail, and use a lot of light to split the scene, to identify one or the object to another. Or, for example, the use of the light to identify the floor or the background.
Okay, so he makes use of light to emphasize details.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else? Georgia, Gajano, do you have anything else to add to the Robert Wilson's composition of the theatrical space? Georgia, are you there?
I don't have any idea.
Okay. Let's see. How about you, Anna Krom?
It's difficult to say. I think this Robert Wilson, like set designer, used to minimalism, and Catherine used minimalism, but different. Wilson use light like phone,
like
but, like part the stage,
like part of the stage. 1 second, Anna. Hanshu, so you're not going to do the test? Oh, he went away. Okay. All right. Let's see. Anybody else? Let's see. Jana?
Okay.
Robert Wilson's theatrical composition of the theatrical space.
Yes. I think Robert Wilson's composition is very clean and organized and a bit neutral, even though he uses colors. But in comparison to Catherine Braque, is more neutral, especially the background.
Okay, so you said what was the first word you said before you said neutral?
Clean.
Clean. Okay, yes. So that already leads me to something that's interesting here, because if you consider his set design, she says clean, and that brings me to think of organized, directed, whereas her set design, through the interaction of the actors, becomes something that's a bit more dynamic. Barbara, you're
Yes, also we talked about her material and how she chooses material that become dirty and that have failed. So that is another comparison between the clean stage and kind of the dirt one. Also, her stage is sort of it and brings a kind of a fight with the design between the actors and the design, where Wilson's is more of a still kind of a still image, a picture.
Good. Yes. So Wilson, we're talking about a still image, and there's not very much interaction between the actors and the set design, because the actors are in a certain sense the design of the set, because as Barbara says, they're still images. Whereas with Catherine, this interaction with the set makes, as Ben Jouet said before, the set an actor. That does not occur in Wilson's theater. The set is not an actor. It's just a still, clean image, and it's also it also seems very, I don't know, I would say geometrical. Does anybody feel that as well? Kathleen, what do you, Wilson's it's flat.
What you just said about the geometrical
right, that kind of aspect.
I can understand it. I can see. I would say more a suprematism decoration. No.
Okay. So
yeah, it is contemporary, but a very old, in a very old way.
Okay. Whereas Catherine Braque?
Catherine Braque, to compare, it's very difficult because, as Barbara said, it was a shoes of dirty things, even if form are not natural things to get destroyed by the
actors, the performers.
Yes. For me, it's using trash. The fact of using something one can put in trash is without no beauty inside.
Okay.
So she doesn't care about the aesthetic, the beauty of what we see. Wilson, for Wilson, it's very important, the beauty of what we see, of what we hear, because it's a music. You have to.
Sometimes
music. Sometimes. But it's a complete and aesthetic thing, is drawing.
Yes.
But with Catherine is very different.
Okay,
it's more a performance. She makes others doing a performance, and this is the creation.
Okay, that's interesting. So
if you're inside the creation, you have fun. But if you're just watching it, I'm not sure it's very interesting to watch this kind of spectacle. Exactly. When I watch a tennis match on television, I want to play tennis. I don't want to see others playing tennis. And this is what I felt when I saw the video last night. It was boring to see people playing in these forms, and I was not inside to play.
And you're not playing too?
No. No.
Oh, I love it. That's great.
Okay. You wanted to know what I think? No.
Oh, that's a very interesting comment. I like that. So one thing that you said, besides the part of the play, which is fabulous, is that Wilson is very concerned about the aesthetic appearance, whereas Braque kind of leads it to chance. This aesthetic appearance occurs during
chance can give you an approach of beauty, if you're lucky.
Okay, if you're lucky. If you're
lucky. But Wilson is building it in order to get beauty.
Okay.
But this is not her motto.
That's not, well, it's not, I don't know if it's her motto, but I guess it's not her objective, right? Okay.
I also think that this links to the figure-ground relationship.
Very good.
Because in Wilson, it's like more of a still image, so we have to look it kind of with a certain perspective. Whereas in Braque, there's movement, there's changes, and I think that interacts with the figure-ground relationship because it changes during the play.
Good. Very good. Yes.
Yes.
You've
Talking
got that.
about the figure and ground relationship.
Yes.
About Catherine's work, like I said before, it's like Catherine makes the stage alive, and the actors, they are like just little cells inside the stage, and the stage is and the stage is a actor him or her or itself, and it's the opposite from the Wilson stage. I think the figure is like some pieces. They are just cut and put on the ground. Yes,
Right.
it is beautiful, but I start to when I watch it, I start to consider the actor not as persons, just as object.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
In Wilson's.
Mhm.
Yes, I agree. That's interesting because you're very detached. There's a certain type of a detachment that doesn't make you think about them as people, but more so as an object of the theater. All right. How about light and color? Before I give you all a break before the test, light and color. Wilson's use of color, Jiang Na. If you thought about it.
Yeah, Wilson used a color because he wants the human figure separately, very clear with light sometimes, with light and color, and even the nose, as one comment said. But in Bragg's stage, the actors were showered in lights and color. For example, the fogs, it reflects a lot of lights and color, and covered all the actors. It's like more like one. And in Wilson's set, it's more clear the difference between the every actors, even the ground and the figures. The difference are very clear.
So it's
But,
as if he uses color to separate the elements, whereas that's
yes.
not an aspect of Braque's work.
Yes.
Okay.
I see a blue person, Georgia.
Okay. So yes, I do too.
Why is blue?
Georgia, you've become blue. Has Wilson projected a blue light on you?
I think so.
So Salvatore, you haven't said anything. What about light and color in
Wilson use the color to wear the actors, to create a more suitable script. There is a script, and Wilson follow all meaning of that script, and with light helps the public, the spectator, to understand the story. Unlike Catherine Braque, who used the light to create confusion, to create a difference between the story and the stage. Like in a work script, I read in the PDF. In a work script, you use a color like pink. Pink, it's not related to war, to
Yes. Very good. Very good. Valeria?
Yeah. I think that for light and color can be connected with figure and ground relationship because Wilson use light, of course, like Salvatore said, on the actors, but for the background he used the light to create a flat space to emerge the acting. In the meanwhile, Catherine used the light to insert something else in the acting, like a part of acting light.
And also, an interesting thing you said is that you pointed out the fact that Wilson's space is a flat space.
Yeah, exactly. Two-dimensional space.
Therefore, even the light is used not in order to create a deeper space, which you could maybe feel in Catherine Black's, but it's used to create this flat space, which Catherine said last week is almost like a, well, she said it's like a cartoon, right, Catherine?
Yes, like a cartoon.
It's so flat for you, and the colors also in that way, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Valeria, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. In fact, I think that this flat space, it's the consequence of the more static figure of Wilson, and on the contrary, for Braque there is more free of the acting in the light, so it's more dynamic.
Right. So it's this contrast between the formalism of Wilson, because he as we read, formalism is his focus on the content, right? And this makes it everything kind of very still and organized. Whereas in Braque we have this what does it say? It's not chance. It's kind of and it's not organized. It's something that happens as a consequence of the moment.
Casuality.
Catherine?
Casuality.
Casuality. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you. 5 points for that. Angela?
Yes, I wanted to say that Catherine Breck, she thinks about the relationship between the materials and the lighting, because she works with the perceptibility of the material. So she's choosing the materials that will lose the light, that will lose their values and their colors when they're like put in a spot with the light. So the way that the play goes on, the materials lose their values.
Okay, very good work, everybody. So I will give you until 10:55. You get a little break. And then when you come back, we'll do the test. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye. 10:55. Okay. I'm going to post the test. I will post the test now, and I want you to remember that what I post is my document. It's a Word document. What you have to do is create your own Google document by copying from my test, my document, and creating your own Google document like we've been doing throughout the course. Does everybody understand that? So I send you a document. Obviously, you don't start writing on that. No, you copy it and then you paste it on your Google document that you will send to me. Okay?
Okay, I see.
All right. Let me send it now. Has it arrived?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So it's called copy and colla in Italian. In English, it's copy and paste. So copy it and then paste it on your Google document and then do the test on your Google document and send it to me after you have finished.
Teacher, I'm sorry, I have a question.
Sure.
In the technical vocabulary, would you prefer us to write the whole answer or just the letter?
You mean for the multiple choice?
Yes.
Well, as you wish. Doesn't matter to me.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. May I have everybody's attention? Just 1 second, please.
Yes.
I forgot to explain the homework. Therefore, if you finish I want all of you to remain until the end of the time so I can just explain the homework. It'd be very, very quick. Okay? So even if you finish the test before 11:30, could you just stay on so I can explain the homework? Thank you.
Finished.
Okay, can you just wait one moment? Sun Min
Yeah.
Yoon? Thank you, thank you. In the meantime, I'll just check to see if it arrived. Okay, so I have here already 10 have arrived. So Gu Chen, Jonna Fernandez, Han Shu, Huang Luyao, Zhang Lingjun, Liu Keiyin, Liu Tong, Lu Xiyuan, Ma Yuanyuan, and Sun Mingjun.
Do you have mine, Professor Anna Medarska?
Not yet.
I still have problem with sharing.
Sending?
Yeah.
That's so strange. Try again.
Professor, can you see my work?
Okay, let me check. What is this? Okay, so some new ones that have come. So Andela Zubik, Zhang Na, and Sun Lu, and Rui Jue, and Gao Zhuorong, and Bai Heming. So about 5 more minutes, everyone.
So I tried, and there is Windows which tells me that I should copy the link, and so on and so on.
Oh, did you create your own document, Anna?
Yes.
But I mean, in the past, you've been able to send me other things.
Yes, I don't know why not. It's
all the stupid computer, right?
Oh my gosh.
Let's see. No, it hasn't arrived.
Prof, can you see mine?
Okay, let me check. Yes, Barbara.
Prof,
Okay,
also
thank you.
mine, I finished.
Who's just spoke? Oh.
Xiaozhou Yi.
Okay, let me check. You Xiaozhou? Yes, yours has arrived.
Yes, that's mine.
Oh, very good. All right, so so Anna, for example, is having problems sending in her thing. Now, this is just one reason why I do not do an exam online. Can you imagine we do an exam online and then somebody has a problem with their computer, the connection doesn't work, the test doesn't arrive, you can't send the test. It just makes everything more complicated. So I really insist on just taking an average of your test grades and then giving you your final mark that way. So let's see. And have you been able to figure it out? No.
I don't know why. I have the share, and when I push, there is a, you can copy the link or you can share with the other people on the group.
You don't put the icon on share, but with consegna is in gray.
Turn in.
I put share, and
Turn
it's
in,
open
not
the other
share.
windows.
No, Anna,
Not
not
share.
share. What is it? What is the word, Jagna?
Turn in.
Turn in. Do you have that, Anna?
It's in the left of the share. One button left.
Anna, do you see that? It's not share, but it's turn in.
One moment.
On the page of your document you created, beside the share, there is a turn in.
Turn in. Do you have that, Anna? Turn
No.
in?
It's
No.
in gray, not in blue.
No. Wait. No.
So what you must have done something strange. So that's so condividi in the English one is turn in. Oh, because I've only seen it in Italian. And condividi could be actually. So what is? Wait a second. So we have consegna. Condividi is share and consegna is turn in. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So has everybody finished? More or less, right? Okay.
No.
All right. So Salvatore, don't worry. You just continue. I'm going to explain the homework. So, and Salvatore, you listen with one of your ears while you're concentrating. Everybody else as well who hasn't finished. Okay, so here are two examples of that we have Wilson's and we have Catherine. Now, I just chose these two examples. You can choose whatever example you want according to the director that you find more interesting. I want you to choose an image from either Wilson or Catherine Brack's work. So you choose the director that you find the most interesting, and then you write a brief story. Attention, please, not more than 6 sentences, inspired in an imaginative way. You're writing a story by a set design of Robert Wilson or of Catherine Brack. Now, I don't want you to write one for Wilson, one for Brack. You choose either one or the other, Wilson or Brack. Then you start the story with either a second or third conditional sentence, but that contains the pronoun I. When you're writing your story, I want you to also think about, you think about these concepts. You don't have to write these concepts, but somehow maybe they will come into your stories. Therefore, the theatrical space, the figure-ground relationship, and the light and color, which is something, we talked about these things today.
Teacher, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Anna shared the screen.
Oh.
So we don't see you anymore.
Okay.
Maybe,
all right, Anna
made a mistake about the share button and she shared it on Meet, not on Google.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
Anna.
Not on Docs, but on Meet. So
yeah.
I think we all can see her.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anna, you replaced me.
If you can take it from here. I'm really sorry.
Okay, so we can see you do not, you have share, but you do not have turn in.
Yeah.
Maybe the button in blue.
It's not function. It's like
the button near share with a blue square.
No.
Okay, listen, Anna, I think you did something wrong here.
Maybe.
Okay, so wait a second. I want you to copy all of the things that you wrote, right? And then try and create another Google document.
Okay. I will stop sharing.
Okay, thank you. That way I can So I was just talking on and on and on, and there was Anna's image. Okay, so I'll go back to what I was saying. Aiuto. I don't like online lessons. What can I tell you, everybody? I also. Okay. All right, so let me re-explain this again. So I have chosen two images, right? One from Robert Wilson's set design or theatrical design, okay? Because he does everything. He directs, he does the lighting, whatever. And one from Katrin Brax, okay? Now, these are two images that I chose just like that as ideas, right? You don't necessarily have to use these images. You just think of the director that you found more interesting than the other, and choose an image. You can go to the web, to internet to find, images from their work. And then you will write a story, but related to the image that you choose. So it says, write a brief story, not more than 6 sentences, inspired in an imaginative way. So you use your imagination, inspired by the set design of Robert Wilson or of Katrin Brax. So you choose either Robert Wilson or Katrin Brax. And you start the story with either a second or a third conditional sentence that contains the pronoun I. So, for example, let's look at this Katrin Brax. Maybe you can identify with one of the characters here, and you say, if I weren't in a labyrinth, okay, maybe I would have understood this situation better, for example. Okay, that's the beginning of your story. And within your story, I want you to think about some of the things that we talked about. So, for example, the theatrical space.
Sorry, I finished.
Yeah, okay, can you just wait 1 second, Salvatore? The figure-ground relationship and the light and color, all right? Obviously, you're not going to be writing in your story, the theatrical space, blah, 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 or the figure-ground relationship. That's just something that you'll be thinking about while you're writing your story. And it's just brief. And as I said before, you may want to use one of these images that I have put in the lesson, or you can find something else that you find more interesting. So let me come back. So is that clear, everybody? Yes? Yeah? Okay, so let me see how clear it is. Jonah Fernandez. For example, which theatrical designer did you find more interesting?
Do I have to answer like if it was the homework?
No, whatever. You could just answer however you feel, and then you can change your mind in the homework.
No. I mean, starting with the pronoun I.
No. Just tell me who do you find most interesting?
I would find Robert Wilson's
theatrical design work. Okay.
Theatrical design more appealing for me because I don't like confusion.
Okay, so there's more confusion in Catherine Brack.
Yes, yes.
In
I
your
like
opinion.
more clean spaces.
Okay, so all right, if you were to write a story about an image of Robert Wilson, an image of one of his designs, how could you begin it, for example? And okay, so now Anna has a difficult question. Everybody says, oh, she's not asking me, so I don't have to answer. Maybe I'll ask one of you as well. So how would you do it, John? Bye, Lucian.
How would I do it?
Then I'm going to ask Catherine because she's smiling.
It's in fact a difficult question.
It's a very difficult question.
Yes, to think about right away.
All right, so you think, because I've asked you this, everybody else has been thinking of theirs. So Angela, how about you?
Yes, I'm thinking too.
Who would you choose, Wilson or Brock?
Maybe Wilson for the same, yes.
So would anybody choose Brock? Catherine, you said you're going to choose Brock?
I like the image you put in the number 10 lesson. The trees, glitter trees, it's full of fantasy. I like it. I don't know anything about the artwork.
No.
First time I see it, but I like the image.
Okay, so you don't have to know about the artwork. That's a good point. I don't want you all trying to do research into the artwork. I just want you to look at the image and then create your story from that.
Yes,
okay?
I will shoot this.
I'm glad you said that, Catherine, because I don't want that. Don't go looking and seeing how she did it or what the opera represents. Just look at the image and let your story come from that. All right.
We can be disappointed if we if we look for information.
That's right. Or it can contaminate your imagination. All right. So has anybody thought of an imaginative first sentence?
I like the image that you put of Robert Wilson pushing his fairy tales.
Yes.
So maybe it's like there is a danger behind.
I love the image of the there's a fox, right? And that other one, I don't know if it's a porcupine or a hedgehog. No.
So maybe I would start with if I had known that you were behind me, I would have been more careful, and then I would tell the story.
How many points for Angela Barbara?
The maximum.
Oh, so you see, very, very good. So everybody, did you hear that? That's the type of sentence that I want. Not obviously not exactly the same, but it leads to the story. Okay? Salvatore, you got it?
Yes. I mean, I hope. I'm sleeping.
All right. Okay, so have a nice weekend, everyone. Oh, wait, Anna is still having problems with her computer.
No,
Anna,
I just wanted to ask if you have received.
If I got it. Okay,
Yes.
so let me just check. So I have to check Salvatore and Anna.
And also mine, please.
Okay, wait, I can't see you now. So Salvatore I got. And also Anna's I got. And who said also mine?
Georgia.
Georgia, let's see. Yes.
And the homework we should give until...
The homework's due Tuesday.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Prof.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. I'm sorry.
No, don't worry that you gave us a nice bit of amusement there. Okay, does anybody have any other questions?
Yes, Prof. And me, Ray Yang.
Yes.
Do you see me?
Yes. No, I don't see you, but I can hear you.
Oh no, just I want to check my homework. Do you symbol for you?
Do you mean if I have received
yeah.
your test?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, I did.
Oh, okay, great.
I have received your
Thank you
test.
very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Any other questions?